Manchester United are looking to add a defensive midfielder to their ranks ahead of next season. Many names around Europe are being considered. However, in the past couple of months, two players in particular have made it into every Manchester United's fan transfer wishlist: Marseille's Boubacar Kamara and Milan's Franck Kessie. In this video, I'll be comparing them to one another in order to better identify which one would be the better option for Ralf Rangnick's team this summer. I'll be focusing on three key areas that are relevant to players who play as defensive midfielders: passing, defensive actions, and possession, aka control of the midfield. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel, grab a drink, and sit tight, because this is gonna be good. Both Kamara and Kessie will be out of contract in June, so clubs outside their respective leagues can sign a pre-contract with them as early as January 1st. This is a golden opportunity for Manchester United because I highly anticipate a very active winter and summer transfer windows for the Red Devils. So they should definitely try to get a solid defensive midfielder on a free transfer so they can spend more on other areas. But which one should United pick? Let's look at the stats. Franck Kessie has played one game more than Boubacar Kamara, and yet Kamara has attempted more passes. Not only that, but Kamara's pass completion rate is higher at 90% compared to 89.7% for Kessie. So not only is he more accurate, but he also attempts more passes than Kessie does. But that's not all, because Kamara dominates Kessie in another key stat: progressive distance. The progressive distance stat shows the total distance the ball has traveled while being passed forward. In other words, players with a high progressive distance stat pass the ball into forward positions much more effectively than the others. Boubacar Kamara is at 3,405 yards, while Franck Kessie is at a mere 2,808 yards. This proves that not only is Kamara a player who attempts and completes more passes, but also that the quality of his passes is much higher than Franck Kessie's. Also, Kamara has completed 38 flank switch-in passes of a distance of 40 yards or more, while Kessie only completed 24. This shows Kamara's intelligence and vision because he often tries to switch play and exploit gaps in the opposition's defense. He has also completed 120 passes while being under pressure, while Kessie only completed 79. All this while having played an extra game. This shows that despite his young age, Kamara is physically strong, calm, and composed on the ball. All of these are qualities that Manchester United lacks in midfield. Next, let's talk about defensive actions. Kamara has attempted and won more tackles than Kessie. Boubacar is at 21 tackles won in 28, while Kessie is at 17 tackles won in 23. Franck Kessie did attempt more presses than Kamara. However, his success rate is at 34.8% compared to 38.3% for Boubacar Kamara. This clearly shows that Kamara is much more suited to a high pressing style than Kessie. Franck does have more blocks than Boubacar Kamara, which shows that he's a tad braver, I suppose, but even then, the difference isn't too dramatic, with 23 blocks against 19. I think Kamara is the better tackler and presser of the ball, so he edges this context as well. But the third area is the one that clearly separates these two players: control of the midfield. We have already established that Kamara is the best passer of the ball. Well, let's look at the stats that prove that he is a much better player when it comes to build-up and game control. Kamara has 1,063 touches, despite playing one game less compared to Kessie's 878 touches. This is a shocking statistic for Franck Kessie, because it shows that he isn't as involved in games as Boubacar Kamara is. Not only that, but Kessie's touches are mostly in his own penalty box and in the attacking third, while Kamara's are in the defensive and midfield thirds. So what does this mean? Well, it means that Kessie is the type of player who doesn't take responsibility in build-up play. He comes back to support the defense, but once the ball is won, he only receives it back once it reaches the opposition half. Kamara, on the other hand, is a player who is always available to receive the ball from his teammates and dictate the tempo and build up from deep. Kamara also has a higher dribble success rate and carries the ball much more than Kessie does, which means that he receives the ball in deeper positions and then either progresses the ball with a pass or by dribbling into the opposition half. So based on these stats, which player is better suited to meet Manchester United's current needs? I personally think that Boubacar Kamara is the best fit because he's a type of player we don't currently possess. He is able to participate in the build-up play and receive the ball when no one wants it. We currently do not have such a player in central midfield, so I think that Kamara on a free should be a no-brainer for Ralf Rangnick at Manchester United. Now, how about you? Which player would you prefer to see in a United shirt? Have your say by leaving a comment in the comment section below. Happy New Year, everyone, and cheers!